the process that we're going to use, we're going to start practicing with Fabi, okay? So, the ground rules of the critical response process. I'm going to be facilitating this, so when you have a response, I do need for you to raise your hand so that I know to call on you, just like in school. And I want you to pitch your voice towards the stage, throw the ball or something, so that we can all hear you. Yeah. The first step is going to be what we call affirmation and observation. That means what I would like to hear from you are the things that stood out for you about the performance. Things that you like. It can be a moment. It can be an image. It can be a section of movement. It can be the whole thing. Just the things that you like. So I'm going to ask you to leave out the but. For example, you all do this. We all do this. I really liked your piece, but no but. Okay, this first step is just about affirmations and observations because that's just the best way to get people to listen to the rest of what you might have to say, is to start with something nice. So we're going to keep it that way. Deal? Yeah. All right. Step 2, questions from the artist. So that's when I'll turn it over to Fabi in this case. She's going to ask you a couple of questions. If the answer to the question is yes, that's great. And if you can give an example or explain a little bit more about why, that's always useful. Yeah. And if the answer to the question is possibly no, as in no, I didn't get that. No, I don't have anything else to add. Whatever. That's all fine. You're not failing anybody, but by the answer being no. What is not okay is being rude. Fair enough. I don't even think I need to give examples about that. We all know. We all know, and I will crush that. Yeah. Okay. Step 3 is questions from you. So it can be questions about the process, about the music, where's this piece going, who does your hair, where can I take class with you, any of those things. And if they get too personal, then the artist might just say no, and that's okay too. Right? Yeah? So let me wind it back and say that when we are in step 1, the other thing that I would like you to try not to do is also ask questions because you're so excited about what you saw. Because as you can see, we do have a structure here. We will get to your questions. Yes? Okay? Finally, can everyone do a little snap action for me? Alright, doesn't just make a cool sound, but this is also a way of sort of moving things along, in that if someone says something you agree with, you don't have to raise your hand and say, so I also agreed with her, and now I'm going to say it twice as long and using some slightly different words, but really I agree. Let's not do that, because the Spurs start playing at 7:30, right? Some of you may care about this. I'm fine, but you know, this way we'll just move it along, and then you can get to the other things that you've planned for your evening. So, if someone says something you agree with, snap away. Okay? Okay. Oh yeah, that was awesome. See, good modeling. All right, so let's get ready. Let's get ready to rumble creatively, lovingly, supportively. So we're going to start with step 1. Things that stood out for you about Fabi's piece, things that you liked. Yes, Stefan.
First, this piece has beautiful imagery, from lighting the candle to the incense to your costume to the mirror, beautiful imagery. And I loved how it kind of connected culturally, kind of that tribal dance into kind of club dance today, and how we get that kind of ecstatic dance, you know, going into trance through dance. Yeah, I love it.
Thank you. Let's keep it coming. So remember, this whole process is meant to be an all-skate. That means that your opinion matters, whether you are a dance teacher, a studio owner, a professional dancer, whatever. Because we make art for you, that's why you're here, so don't feel intimidated or like your opinion doesn't matter, or that if you have a different opinion from someone else that you're wrong. That's not going to be the case. So, this first step, let's popcorn the love. Let's see some more hands up. What are some other things that you liked or that stood out for you about what you just saw? Yes?
The part where you're getting ready, and it just reminded me of being, you know, everybody has that process when they're getting ready and pumped up.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Did you have your hand up?
I did.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the fact that through a long piece like that, you maintain that energy level and passion from beginning to end.
Very true. Thank you. Is there a hand in the back? Yes.
I was going to say it seemed very honest, and it reminded me of what I do when my roommate's not home.
Ah. Thank you. Ever.
I liked the cultural paradigms presented. It was sad, but interesting and revealing and.
Can I ask you to say just a little bit more about what you meant by cultural paradigm?
That was like the best way I could to say it.
Can you come back to your?
So much layering of cultures and identity just banging against each other.
Thank you. Other responses? Yes.
Yeah, I saw you, Fabi, and your story and everything that dance means to you in this little piece. So much energy, I loved it.
All right, awesome. Adele, thank you.
I enjoyed that it included the different senses like smell, touch, like I think of it like feeling yourself, like getting in your body, like analyzing that yourself, and just like the senses what really stood out for me.
Wonderful, thank you. Other things from other side of the room? Yes.
I love how confident and bold you are. I'm gonna leave it as simple as that.
It's an excellent way to go. Yes. Other responses? I'm really liking how it's kind of popping all over the room. That's what we like. That's what we like. Other responses? Other things that stood out for you? Yes, sir.
I felt there was a lot of intimacy in terms of not only the mirror, but that time facing the mirror and getting ready and looking at yourself. There was really a lot of intimacy in the piece, so I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you. So this is a step that we like a lot, so we can come back to it at any point during this process or after and beyond, but I'm just going to put out one call if anything's occurring to you right now that you want to praise or affirm. Yes?
I like that I wanted to see it.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. All right, I'm going to move us on to step 2, but affirmations can occur at any point, so if something that comes up reminds you of something else that you totally loved and you want to share, we can do that. But I'm going to turn it over to Fabi for your first question.
What does it mean for me as a person of color to be moving that way? What do you think about that? What does moving that way mean to you?
Okay? Who would like
as
to?
a woman and as a person of color.
I saw that.
Yes.
I saw that transition. That.
You speak up a little bit.
I saw that transition that we as immigrants are acculturating to this. You show that in your piece, so I think it's very interesting.
So that was the feeling you got when you watched these. Thank you. Someone else? Yes.
I feel like that some people, throughout the ages, it has been looked down upon to move that way. It's been seen as like indecent and everything. It's a natural way of moving. I think it's very just like rooted in your body's natural impulses to move that way. As far as what it means, it just depends on different perspectives. But it is associated highly with nasty, indecent. But, I don't see it that way. It's a beautiful movement. It's really personal. It's only for you. If other people enjoy watching you, then okay. But it's really something that satisfies yourself to dance that way.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, I feel like you're going from maybe a press culture, but then you kind of feel yourself got more comfortable with your body. You're like, this is me putting the earrings. Kind of like you went from you just got comfortable with your body. You're not very sure.
Thank you. Yes.
I kind of felt like when you first started, you were blowing out a candle, maybe some type of spirituality, and maybe that's how you were raised. And then as you maybe grew out of some kind of adolescence and grew up, you started experimenting with different types of movement as you do as a child and getting into an adult. So I thought it was kind of neat to see a transition there.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Nice. I think I saw. Yes.
I guess the question is hard for me to answer because I'm not a person of color and I'm not a woman. I'm white complected. I'm a Latino, but I'm white complected. But I will say that what it means for me to see you perform on stage with these cultural paradigms, like it means a lot because how do I say it brings a question to like how patriarchy has sort of diminished like womanhood, and also like how it controlled the existence of like cultural movement, like cultural embodiment when one grows in one's culture. Like how do we? I'm not sure if I'm wording this right, but yeah, how do we acknowledge and appreciate authentic movement? It comes from somewhere.
It comes from somewhere. Yes.
I think as a person of color, your piece really talks about how, for me, like how something that was once very cultural and everybody in town would do this thing and would get together and dance, and it meant something completely different. We had the young lady that brings up today's stigma of particular movements, you know what I mean? Something more with the breast, something more with the butt. Oh, that's too sexy, but that was our culture. You know what I mean? All of us came from this tribal place that was the movement. That's very African, that's very, Cuban, that's very, very natural. And so it kind of talks about how these things kind of lose their roots and kind of take over their whole new meaning, like the music you were using, and kind of how you went from cultural to this kind of pop new age, and how it's like, oh, we just invented twerking. You know what I mean? We just invented all of these, hip hop is brand new, all of these things. But it has such a deep cultural tie that to say, oh, it's totally new, you know what I mean, is to kind of cut it off from there. And I don't know if I'm reading too much into your piece or not. And then I think as a woman, it plays more into that, the sexual nature of the dance, you know what I mean? And my body isn't a sexual instrument, you know what I mean? It can be, you know what I mean? But it's more than that. My movement is more than that, you know what I mean? So I think it can talk on many levels that way.
It's not even 7:30, we're getting deep. Any other responses to that question? It's a lot, right? There's a lot of good stuff. Do you have a second question?
Are there any parts that are necessary?
In the piece?
Yes. For music or movement?
So this is an editing question. Any responses to that? So again, as long as we're not rude, honesty is what she's asking for here. Yes.
I thought it was all necessary.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it was unnecessary.
Because you had said that you actually wanted to.
Yeah, it was necessary because it was a process. You were going through a process, and you needed that much movement, and you needed that much music, and you needed that much, so to say, intimacy to get to a certain point to reach an evolution. It's what I saw an evolution of energy and identity, maybe.
Okay. Thank you. Yes.
I think I agree that I don't think things should be taken out, but I would really love to see more of the tribal stuff in the beginning and the end, because I was really, really into that part. Not to say that I wasn't into the rest of it, I really like the whole piece, but I think adding more of that would also strengthen the meaning behind the whole piece.
Thank you. Other responses to the idea of editing? Are you okay with people kind of talking about what they want to see more of as well as less? Yes. Okay, so yes.
I really like the last segment with the movement that occupied more floor space, back and forth, and so given that I like that piece a lot, I would have liked to see it a little maybe earlier to appear. It looks like it involves a lot more work and energy, so I don't know if that's going to be a lot to sustain all that. but I would have liked to see that sooner.
All right, thank you.
I was
Okay.
still
Snap.
getting to the point, yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Yes. Yeah, I just want to see if I skipped anyone.
Okay, so if we're saying things that we'd like to see more, I'd like to see more at the beginning, that this ritual, more time there, to understand more, what that has to do with what's going to happen next.
Okay. Other responses to the question of editing, sort of like reverse editing? Okay, good. All right, so we're going to move on to questions from the audience, and I'm sure you must have some. Yes.
So cool. My first question is on music selection and why, and then my second question is you've set up a beautiful altar, and I would love to hear more about the symbolistic qualities of the altar in your costume.
So the artists that I chose are MIA, Nicki Minaj, and Rihanna. And the reason that I chose them is because they're women of the diaspora. They come from other countries. They're immigrants, and I'm an immigrant. And I think growing up, I didn't know any other immigrants because I was undocumented and I was not allowed to talk about it. And so I didn't know who else to identify with, so I identified with Black culture. And I grew up in the West Side, so my first learning of dance was booty dance and R&B and Tejano music and cumbias. So I wanted to bring them into the space because they're women that I identify with, even though I don't. They have very different ways of negotiating their identity because of the industry that they work in. But I'm interested in how these women of the diaspora negotiate their identities as, like, now people of the U.S. or Europe, of the colonized nation, as colonized people. So that's why I chose them. And each of them in their own ways address the challenges of that with their body, with their presentation, with what they speak about in their music, and in their style, or the styles that they bring in with the music. I was born in the coast of Mexico, and in the region where there's Afro-mestizos. So I am Afro-mestiza. So I wanted to represent that part of my culture because my grandma is Afro-mestiza and my family still lives there. And I grew up knowing that I was undocumented, but also knowing that I was Black. And I was Indian, or Indígena. I would be called Indian. It's not a positive thing to call people Indian, but that's what I would be called. So I tried to hold on to that identity because it's been part of like what's my identity formation early on. And I want to honor my family from that area because in San Antonio we talk about immigrants, or we talk about Mexico, we tend to mainly talk about the border, but not so much the coast, the Pacific coast. And in general, we don't have a lot of writings or research on Afro-mestizos. We've just been omitted, and it's like recent that they're starting to write about that. I use Antares a lot, and I don't know why, because I didn't grow up Catholic or Christian. I grew up to distrust institutionalized religion, but later on when I was in college, I got introduced into poncheros, danza azteca, and little elements. I borrowed little elements that I learned from my community, like altars, having altars. And for me, altars is like, because I don't have a lot of things from my family or from growing up, because we came here with nothing, so I kind of just piece together like the little that I have to like create this like story, or like this is where you come from. So that's what my altar is. This is sand from Acapulco, which is where I was born. This is from Guatemala. This was a gift. Sorry. But water, in altar you usually have as a woman of color that is very cognizant of colonization and the effects of it, I don't want to be sexualized. So it's kind of challenging for me to be moving like this. I'm a modern dancer, and I tend to hide in constant movement. I tend to hide in circles and spirals, and like you can't see my head. Here I am, and I'm gone again. So for me to like move like this is very challenging to me, and I'm challenging myself to like see myself and allow myself to be seen. So this is what the mirror was for, and I didn't do a good job when I was looking at myself, but I'm trying.
Work in progress.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you. Other questions?
Oh, and this is from particular communities, Caribbean communities, dance with white skirts, and they do all that.
Thank you. Other questions for Fabi? Any other questions about the piece? Yes.
When you're dancing, like, what's going through your head? What's going through your mind? What are you thinking?
Some honor the ancestors. Today I was thinking about my grandmother because it's very, very poor in other countries, and like my grandmother like couldn't study. What happens in a lot of communities like of color, indigenous and brown and mestizo, is that like with colonization, like you're forced to adopt like these new values, and like little by little like you forget about who you are, and you like, you know, leave this behind and you move like this instead, you know? So like I think about my grandmother because she couldn't study past elementary. She didn't have a choice because the customs are so traditional. Like if I wanted to study, I'd have to ask my dad. And if he doesn't allow me because the next school is like 2 hours away and he doesn't want me to be alone, and I can't study. And so women are forced to marry. They don't have any outlets. Like they're not as lucky as we are here. We can get our own job, support ourselves, get an education, and then, you know, we're not dependent. So I thought about her, and I'm like, it would have been so cool, like if she could just like be able to move in her body and honor her body and the dance that is of her community, but because of the traditions and because of like strong like Christian Catholicism and like that influence, like she was forced to disengage herself from the community that she came from. So now she's a Jehovah's Witness, and she goes to church like 3 times a week, and she's never traveled outside of her city, even though like the state capital is like an hour and a half away. So I think about her and like you know, like doing what I can that she couldn't, and like remembering and honoring the way people.
Thank you. Ever?
Can I a question? When you started dancing, you had, it was like an expressionless face. So it led me to kind of project some kind of story on what you were doing, because you were doing, you know, this very African style movement, but you were very expressionless. And you kept that for a while, and then I think when you turned your face in the mirror, you started singing along with some of the music. So I want to know if that was conscious. Did you consciously make those choices? And what did that mean to be expressionless? Dancing very expressively, the body is being expressive, but the face is very expressionless. If you were doing that on purpose, and it just happened, or what was the idea behind that?
I think I'm usually expressionless when I dance. I tend to be very serious, but that's also me like freaking out, like, oh my god, okay, now I'm by myself, and now I'm leaving, and just keep going, just move. And then I wanted like me looking at myself to be like chill, like we're having fun, and like we're not being seen, or just in our room or wherever it is that you groove with yourself. I'm still working on that, like being able to like flip my expressions, but also I think like I don't want to be sexualized, and I don't want my movement or my work to be downgraded because it doesn't look like Euro-Western I don't want to look like I'm enjoying it too much because I'm on stage. I don't know.
Thank you. Yes.
As far as expressions at the end, you started to smile and like do all these different facials. So, what was the purpose behind that?
I think that was an accident. Towards the end, I had more clarity in the movement, but I got nervous and then I just like started laughing at myself.
Yeah, dance unplugged. Final questions before we move on to our next act. Yes.
Are you going to be dancing this with someone else?
No, this was a piece that was created for 8x8, which is a series, a performance series that is showing here at Don't Start Friday and Saturday. And what's good to note about that is that we're working in an 8x8 space, so like me not traveling is because of that. Usually like I move over again instead of to hide, but so this was created specifically for that. Friday and Saturday, so Friday I'll be showing it again.
Oh, okay.
And there will be other people showing at 8x8 as well.
Awesome. All right. Any final affirmations, Fabi? Any last brief things?
Showing your hair was amazing. Having it covered and then showing it really says something, especially as a woman of color. Hair can sometimes be one of those, you know what I mean? I can't treat my hair like you can, and da-da-da. And there's Whoopi Goldberg actually has a wonderful bit in one of her stand-up things where she talks about being a girl with pretty hair and covering her hair up with a white shirt because she doesn't have long blonde hair, you know what I mean? And so taking in and loving your hair the natural way it is, and that was really wonderful.